To think that I would have a career in opera, you know, which is considered the highest form of musical expression, is a bit far-fetched. I do realize that, you know, my voice was different. I certainly wasn't cut to sing R&B. I certainly wasn't cut to sing traditional gospel. I auditioned for a weekend program up in New England when I moved up there at the New England Conservatory of Music. And I started off singing, "Oh, say, can you see?" And the lady stopped playing and she says, "Have you ever thought about singing opera?" And I was like, "No." I received 2 educations here. Had I gone to Carolina or Clemson, I probably would have received a fraction of one of the educations I received here. Not to knock them academically, but athletically, athletics are athletics. And if you're going to be an athlete, it takes a certain amount of discipline and dedication and intestinal fortitude. I think to have the discipline to participate in a sport at that high level at a school that requires so much of you takes a special type of person. I learned from that experience, you know, the intestinal fortitude, the stick-to-itness, the assiduousness, the ability to overcome adversity on the football field and in the barracks, and I took that right over to the musical world. We had this little mental edge, man. It was like we carried a chip on our shoulder no matter what. Just like I told the guys on the football field today, I said, look, man, if a guy went to a bigger school and he lined up in front of me, he was going to have to prove to me on that day why he deserved to be there. He's going to have to prove to me that day why he was playing in front of 80,000. He had to prove to me why he got a bigger scholarship or he thought he was better than me. You know, he's 6'6", 315. Well, guess what? You're going to have to kick my butt today and prove to me that you're better than I am. And I do the same thing in opera. You know, there's a guy, there may be a guy that's singing a bigger role or has a little bit more experience or he's at the top or supposed to be the world's best. Well, you know what? I'm going to go watch him. And he's going to show me why he's the best. And if he's better than I am, okay, fine. Then I'm going to go back and practice and get there. And if he isn't, it's just going to motivate me more to knock him off his place, you know. And I think that's terrible. That's terrible in the arts world to be that competitive, but it also helps. I think that if I didn't have that competitive spirit, we wouldn't be having this interview right now. Linguistically, artistically, academically, those were the challenges, you know, having to learn to be conversational in Italian, to be conversational in German. When I went back to school to learn opera, I knew I had languages to learn. I knew I had to learn technique. I knew I had to learn how to read music, you know, at a high level. I had a lot of things to learn. So I had to give up my golfing on the weekends. I had to give up fishing trips. I had to give up hanging out with the fellas. I had to give up, unfortunately, going to Citadel football games. I had to let that part of my life go to focus on this aspect of my life. And now I'm getting to the point where I can enjoy it all a little bit better. But, you know, it takes a little sacrifice. It's called the road less traveled. I mean, we know that. When a boy is born, the world is born again. Here at this school, we attracted a certain type of athlete. You know, these guys here, yeah, we played tough football, and we in our own right, we're tough guys, and we fought hard, and we kicked a little butt on the football field, and we took pride in that. But we also attracted the type of kid that had different interests, you know, that we weren't so tunnel visioned about being an athlete, and we weren't fooled into thinking that we're all going to be first-round draft picks either. So we all had different interests, and we all did different things, and we were all very supportive of each other. It wasn't all about being a jock. It was about being the total man. The Citadel emphasizes that. And the Citadel isn't for everyone. But if you are the right fit, you'll get the most out of it. This school gives you so much. It requires a lot of you, and you find yourself throughout that requirement. I mean, you have to become things that you didn't know that you were able to become. You have to deal with things that you never thought you'd have to deal with. You have to rise above situations that, you know, the guy at Clemson doesn't have to deal with. He's standing there with no... You have to find it deep within yourself to meet the demands of this institution, both academically, athletically, militarily. All those things are required of you. And I think that if you're special enough to make it through this special school, you know, special things will happen for you, and you'll be special in your life. You have a special life. You know, I've been very blessed, but for the grace of God, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. I don't take any credit for having these cords in my throat. You know, that was a gift. Now, the hard work I put into developing that craft, I take some credit for, but I give credit to the school and to the football team for developing that. Citadel is a tough place to be, but it's a great place to be from.